bonsoir. Hi, I'm Jeff from reelyActive, a startup that next month will be celebrating 5 years. And in light of that, I thought it'd be interesting to take a look at, over the past 5 years, how our cities have evolved. So this is a picture of a city, our city, you may recognize it, in 2012. Now I want you to take a good look at this photo, because I'm going to fast forward 5 years, and I want to see if you can spot the difference. You ready?
Yes.
Did you see the difference? The truth is there is no difference, it's the same image. But I asked about seeing a difference. What about sensing a difference? So here's what has changed from a sensory perspective. So we have now people carrying smartphones and wearables that have the latest Bluetooth technology. And these things are giving off all kinds of cool radio waves. In fact, 50% of people actually now have Bluetooth turned on their phones, which means there's a lot of people that are advertising themselves. Then you have apps like Protect You, which are on the forefront of personal security and all the rest. And with these, people opt in. Now they're no longer anonymous. Now they're able to say something about themselves, who they are and all the rest. These are also advertising. Didn't exist 5 years ago. Now, because you have 3 billion Bluetooth chips, 3 billion that are going to ship this year. Imagine that. Is that just smartphones and wearables? No, that means there's other things like assets in your city that can be emitting Bluetooth. And finally, you can do even sensors today, which can measure things like environment, motion, state, occupancy, and all the rest. What this sums up to is there are billions of people and things that are advertising themselves. So I ask you the question, is your city listening? Well, our platform is listening. What we do is we sit between the billions of devices that are advertising, sending these radio packets out, and on the other side, in the digital world, the countless clouds that would love to have the information about all these things that are going on in a human scale, for instance, in a city. More specifically, how this works, we collect all of these radio waves. And again, it's on a human scale, about 10 meters, these things that go out. And then, once we collected them, we transfer them over into the digital world to all the different clouds that have the right to have access to the information and that need access to the information. So it's a multi-to-multi. Let's give a specific case. Crisis. Has anyone watched the news in the past year? I'm sure you have. I'm sure you can place your crisis there. Imagine this. What could possibly happen on St. Catherine Street in Montreal? What can we do in a crisis situation with, let's say, someone using the Protect You app? Now, the Protect You app, as you saw, on its own can do some amazing things, and we can add on top of that. For instance, we can provide real-time location, especially indoors. Who or what is nearby? Where are they headed? What about environmental factors? You take all of this together and now you add a layer of real-time context to what Protect You has already discovered. Now, if you have a city, you're thinking, Jeff, this sounds like infrastructure. You're like, yes, it does sound like infrastructure. And you're going to say, infrastructure is expensive, infrastructure is complicated, infrastructure isn't sexy. I know. I'm standing here and I'm pitching you the tubes of the Internet of Things. It's not sexy. But the other two, I'm going to try and debunk. Expensive. If you wanted to, you could go on the web right now and you could buy a starter kit by the time I finish my presentation. And if you say, Jeff, that's still too expensive, you can actually crowdsource the infrastructure, as the Things Network have shown in Holland with a similar type of wireless product. You let your citizens get engaged, let your citizens set this up. It actually works. Complicated? Can you plug something into power and network? Not too bad. You say, whoa, 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 Jeff, what about the data? What about the data? It's complicated. This looks complicated, right? This is a dashboard I put together in about 5 minutes. This is actually real data from Notman House, which is just down the street, and these are actual behavior patterns of people moving through the house, measured as if it was a website. So you say, it may not be sexy, but I think you will agree with me that the possibilities of this infrastructure are sexy. And that's what brought our team together. So myself and Benoit was sitting there. You can talk to after if you like during the cocktail. It'll be a pleasure to talk more about this. And as well with different clients that we're working with across the world, including Philips Lighting. Imagine one day these sensors being in every single light bulb. Then we don't have to build hardware anymore, it's great. We have Desjardins here doing this with a smart office. Smart office is like a little baby smart city. It's the same idea. What all of us see is that there are billions of people and things that are advertising themselves. And the question then is, shouldn't your city be listening? That's it. Thanks very much.